What's up, gamers? I'm the Cobra Commander, Master Marcolian, Lancer Tank Lieutenant, and Orbital Strike Operator.
Yeah, hi.
Today, I'm breaking down Legendary Marcolians. Legendary cards are the game changers in Parallel. They come in many shapes and sizes, but you're only allowed one copy of each card because they are powerful and unique. That said, there are still some that you definitely want to play and others that you really don't need. Marcolian players really have two must-have legendary cards, Wong and Astel's Glaive. Alright, now that you're stopped laughing, yes, both of those are universal cards and not Marcolian cards at all. The good news here is that you can and will use those cards in basically every deck that you build, whether they're Marcolian or not. The bad news is that they're meta for just about every single deck and therefore quite expensive. If you're grinding Prime, these are the only cards I would consider playing as apparitions if needed. Maybe go 40-40 for your first 5 wins and then switch them in for grinding rank. Let's look at Astel's Glaive first. A 4 energy, 3/6 unit with shield. Glaive is naturally difficult to remove. Its ability makes it a serious threat. When Astel's Glaive attacks a unit, it deals damage equal to its attack to adjacent units as well. That means it does double or triple damage when trading and will quickly wreck opposing boards. It also forces your opponent to think about unit positioning, which they will not be naturally doing before you play Glaive. Glaive is a nightmare for us to deal with before turn 5. There's not much that you can do to stop it though. Just pray that they don't have it that early. If it does happen though, don't wreck your board to kill Glaive. A 2 or 3 for 1 trade is going to set you back too much. If you cannot remove Glaive ASAP, a defender on either end can force Glaive to only hit 2 units. Just don't forget that Longbow needs to be played on the left if Assault is active, since tokens will always get played on the right. Wong, Purveyor of Curiousities, is arguably the most important legendary card to own in the game of Parallel. Like Glaive, it really fits into every deck. Wong is a 5 energy, 4/4 unit with a huge muster ability. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose one of each type of card and draw them. Put the rest on the bottom in random order. For each card drawn this way, give +1/+1 to a random friendly unit. Now, that sounds more complicated than it is. There are 4 types of cards in Parallel: units, effects, relics, and upgrades. But Marcolians only play units and effects. This means that you will pretty much always get 2 cards and only 2 cards. Wong's buff is great, but keep 2 things in mind. The buff always hits just 1 unit, doesn't get spread around, so expect to get +2/+2 somewhere. Second, Wong will most frequently target himself. Okay, what about Marcolian Legendaries? My favorite is the Lancer Tank, a 5 energy, 5/5 unit with 2 abilities. Muster, deal 4 damage to the enemy player. When Lancer Tank attacks, deal 4 damage to a target unit. Lancer Tank is effectively a more aggressive version of Astel's Glaive. It's an immediate must-remove threat that will quickly own the board if left unchecked. Without a shield and 5 health versus 6, the Lancer Tank is a bit easier to deal with. Opponents will happily sacrifice multiple units to kill it if needed, and to be honest, that's the realistic best case scenario. It's rare that a Lancer Tank sticks. Play it with Assault so that you get the 4 damage to face for sure. Ideally, your opponent won't have enough units to attack and kill the Lancer Tank, but 4 damage plus them trading 2 units or more to kill your Lancer Tank is still solid value at 5 energy. Earthbreaker Cannon is our biggest unit as a Marcolian. For 6 energy, it's a 7/4 vehicle, which also has 2 abilities. It gets shield on Assault, which will help it survive. Even better, when another vehicle enters the field, Earthbreaker does 5 damage to any target. Earthbreaker is really our only late game option. The damage output is crazy if it lasts long enough. Now, if you play Earthbreaker Cannon, then you must also add another universal legendary, Nora, Hand of Unity. She's a nice option to consider as a Marcolian regardless. Nora is a 3 energy, 4/3 unit with the muster ability, choose a unit type. Friendly units have that type in addition to any other types they have for the rest of the game. Marcolians only have one unit type that is applicable, and it's vehicles. Our final Marcolian legendary unit is Mirielle, Ghost of Mars. She has a complicated muster ability. Destroy up to 3 other target-friendly units. For each unit that was destroyed, play a random unit with 1 cost higher than the destroyed unit from your deck. This is tricky to play because a lot happens all at once and there's RNG throughout. But a well-crafted deck can make the RNG a bit more targeted. When building your deck, you can purposely target an energy cost that you will sacrifice for. The most common example is 2 energy units. Many Marcolians will only play Vengeful Ally for 2 cost units. Marcolians always have lots of 1 cost units to sacrifice, so finding a board with 2 or 3 1 energy units will upgrade them all to Vengeful Allies. Even better, Vengeful Ally gets +1/+1 every time a friendly unit dies. So with this setup, you always want to destroy a 1 cost unit first, and it'll get +2/+2. If you select a second 1 cost, it'll also get +1/+1. Okay, time to talk about the legendary Marcolian effects. The first one is Neutron Bomb. Neutron Bomb is a 4 energy effect that deals 3 damage to any target. If that target dies, it deals 2 damage to another target. And again, if that target dies, it deals 1 damage to a third target. Neutron Bomb honestly makes me sad to think about. It's the rarest and most expensive Marcolian card in the game, but it's been nerfed to being completely unplayable. Neutron Bomb used to be a 2 energy effect and it was amazing. Then it was a 3 energy effect and it was still really good. When they made it a 4 energy effect, it got removed from all decks. Sadly, Neutron Bomb is only for collectors. Artillery Volley, on the other hand, is a very nice addition to your Marcolian deck. For 3 energy, destroy target friendly unit. Deal damage equal to that unit's attack to all enemy units. Volley is really our only board wipe. It's cheap, but it's legendary, so it's harder to find, and it requires sacrificing a unit. Totally fine if you want to live without Artillery Volley. Many Marcolian units are small damage, but when facing an aggressive opponent, this card can flip the board quickly. Cathari players correctly fear the Volley. There are also 4 more universal legendary cards worth considering. Let's discuss each one quickly. Lord Harf is a popular choice. A 2 energy, 1/3 unit that makes your effects cost 1 less and opponent's effects cost 1 more. This card is great against Shroud, but limited value in other matches. Harf does make it easier to mix in your face damage effects, but they're mostly cheap to begin with. Scanner Probe is a unique unit. It's a 2 energy, 1/2 unit, but it's the only unit in the entire game that is battle ready by itself. Battle ready means that it attacks the same turn that it is played. It's a must-have if you run Catherine, as it can pick up the buff as the second unit played and attack on the same turn. Even better, on attack, you get to look at your opponent's top card and switch it with a card in your hand if you want. Always fun when you steal something cool, but even if you don't trade, you still know what they're going to draw next. Memento of the Fallen is a 3 energy upgrade. It gives +1/+1 for each counter on it, and it gains a counter when played to a unit. If that unit dies and you have another unit on board, you get to move Memento to the other unit and add another counter, making it +2/+2, and then +3/+3. If the unit dies and there's nowhere to move Memento, it goes back to your hand. We will often find ourselves with a nice wide board that can take advantage of Memento. Coming back to hand is nice too, since we're also often running low on cards. Finally, Akara, Rebel General, is a 5 energy 3/3 unit with a powerful muster ability. For each friendly unit on board, including Akara himself, deal 1 damage to the enemy player and heal yourself for 1. So let's say that you have a board with Longbow Personnel Carrier, the 2 token units, and say a Marcolian Bannerman. Akara becomes the 5th unit on board and deals 5 damage plus heals you for 5 as well. That's a big swing in momentum. Face damage also means that Akara can trigger assault over a defender when needed. I hope you found this video fun and informative. If you did, leave a comment below and let me know what you think about the new format. Your support is always appreciated, and follows and subscriptions help to support the channel. I hope you found this entertaining and informative. If you did, consider giving us a subscription or a follow on Twitter. That little free support goes a long way to support the channel.